Good evening and welcome to this week's edition of Dateline SAU, where you can catch all the latest news and sports from St. Ambrose University. I'm Taylor Grinnell.
And I'm Anton Wilkins. Christians around the world celebrated the beginning of Lent with Ash Wednesday services this week. On SAU campus, Ambrosians were out in full force in observance of the special day. 3 masses were held in Christ the King Chapel in order to accommodate everyone wishing to receive ashes. For the next 40 days, Christians are encouraged to take an even closer look into their spiritual lives. But that doesn't mean Lent has to be a negative time.
In many ways, a joyful season. And if we drive from our lives all those things that cause us to live in sin, if we drive from our lives those things that make us unhappy and make others unhappy, you know, our pettiness, our anger, our ability to judge others, if we drive those things out of our lives, and think of Lenten practices that help us do that, to emphasize the positive, then we come to understand who we are as Christian people, and Easter takes on a whole new meaning for us.
Those looking for an extra way to give back during Lent can participate in Operation Rice Bowl, a program that supports Catholic Relief Services. More information is available at Christ the King Chapel.
February 17th to 18th was Siblings Weekend at St. Ambrose University. The Campus Activities Board planned the entire weekend that included a performance by Midwest Dueling Pianos and free Mallards game tickets. Siblings Weekend is an annual event in which SAU students invite their brothers and sisters to campus. Students are given a chance to show their life on campus. This year, the students and their siblings made Midwest Dueling Pianos a success.
It's just to make sure that people feel like, I think students come to St. Ambrose and make this their home, and I think they want to introduce them, their siblings to that opportunity of where they do spend most of their, 9 months out of 12 months here on campus, and so kind of being able to share that with their siblings. I think that's the main reason it got started and probably why it's been able to sustain for so many years.
Richter also said they gave away 200 Mallards game tickets to SAU students. He added that he was surprised by the big response considering they had little advertising this year.
St. Ambrose students in specific fields of study have been offered the unique opportunity to participate in mock interviews. That opportunity is now being expanded to SAU students in all majors. Formerly available only for select communication and business students, now any Ambrosian wishing to partake in the event will have the chance. The process for applying has not changed. Any student wishing to have their resume critiqued at future mock interviews will need to submit their resume through B Careers in order to set up an appointment.
If you have been around campus lately, you have made notice the promoting of a new CD entitled All Highlights. SAU student Mike Hartz, also known as Mike Swag, released his second album with an event in the cafeteria this past Tuesday evening. Dateline SAU's Annie Smith has more.
Lil Wayne, Drake, Tupac. One would think that these rap legends would provide inspiration for an aspiring hip-hop artist. This is the exact opposite of Mike Swag. With the release of his second album, it is evident that this holds true.
The project that I'm releasing tonight, and it'll be released, is All Highlights, and I'm really excited about that because I got to work with some cool artists. I try not to listen to too many other rappers because that kind of rubs off on you.
Another major player in this project was Mike's brother Gabe, who is the graphic designer who created the posters and album covers. Gabe said that it was a long creative process.
I started with a couple ideas where I'm like, I got it pad down, and then by the time the final product came out, it was completely different than the concept that I had for it.
The release event was put on by SAU's own radio station, KALA.
It's really exciting that we've got a student on board at KALA who not only is a part of the music industry by playing music on the air, but he's making music in the music industry. So we're really proud of Mike. His music is positive. The listener feedback has been great. I think the students like it too, and it's very listenable. So we're really proud of his new CD.
Now we back into it. Mike Swag's new album is available for free at mikeswag.bandcamp.com.
St. Ambrose is such a close-knit family that people take to my music, and it really makes me feel good.
Right hand put it high to the sky, left hand put it higher than the other one. I just love the feeling when everybody can feel it. Happy, joy.
Annie Smith, Dateline SAU.
And the night's still young.
Students are not only making their own music. Several are playing music for others with their own shows on KALA radio. Not only do the shows provide great hands-on experience, the students seem to enjoy this unique creative outlet.
Sports from St. Ambrose University, so it's really a great radio show to tune into so that people can listen to great music as well as be informed about activities and things that are going on around campus. One of the biggest things I talk about is basketball because that's a big thing here on Ambrose campus. They play games at Lee Loman Arena a lot, so that's a great opportunity to broadcast it so people know that it's going on here on campus so they can get out and catch a couple games. Let people know what's going on so they have the opportunity to go out and support St. Ambrose athletics.
Boland's show can be heard Saturday mornings on KALA HD2 at 106.1 FM. For more information and program schedule, log on to sau.edu/KALA.
St. Ambrose University has added several parking lots to campus over the years. But with the continued growth the university has experienced, there never seems to be enough parking to go around. This past fall, the university introduced a zone parking system with hopes of helping the situation. Dateline SAU's Jennifer Arnold has a story.
There's about 3,000 students that attend St. Ambrose. All of these students plus faculty need to have parking here on campus.
So what we have now are 3 zones. Zone 1, which is open to anyone, is the most expensive and is the closest to campus. Now, campus not being that large, close and far are relative terms. Right across the Green Street is Zone 2, and it's about half the price of Zone 1. And then about 4 blocks away is our St. Vincent's lot, which now has space for 100 cars, and it's actually free. And we do a shuttle service where you call and we'll take you back and forth to your vehicle.
Students either like or dislike this new system.
I think that the zone parking is a bad idea, but I think the worst part of it is the fact that they reserve tickets for temporary parking.
Last year's parking was a lot better than this year's parking because last year I feel like you could park wherever you wanted to and it could be closer to your building.
It might be a good idea for us to have assigned parking near our dorms, but I feel that some of the students would get in an uproar about that.
Campus security can answer any parking questions via email, phone, or visit. Jennifer Arnold, Dateline SAU.
It's been another busy week for SAU sports.
The bowling team prepares for regional play.
And the men's basketball team enjoys a home court advantage as it heads into conference tournament play.
Dateline SAU's Tim McNicholas will be here with all the exciting highlights coming up right after this short break.
Stay tuned.
I really couldn't have asked for anything more. I was, on the air 3 weeks into my college experience. Everyone around here really wants you to be successful, and it's just a great place that you can get involved in so many different things, meet great people, have a great experience, and hopefully when you finish those 4 years, you look back and have as positive a thought about it as I do. Everything just really had a big impact on who I became when I left St. Ambrose.
The St. Ambrose Fighting Bee basketball team had won the conference title in convincing fashion, already punching its ticket to the national tournament. But the Bees wanted to keep their 12-game winning streak alive when they opened up the conference tournament on Wednesday versus Iowa Wesleyan at the Lee Loman Arena. There's a good crowd on hand as we pick up this intensive game in the second half. The Bees work the ball, and check out this hustle by Marquez Davis with the save. And the pass to Mike Kennedy eventually gets the field goal. Bees up by 7. A bit later, the Bees are looking to push, and it's Justin Blondell with a 3 to extend the lead to 12. The Bees are on the move again. Here, it's Mike Kennedy with a nice lob to Andy Supergan for the bucket. St. Ambrose with a 60-47 lead. How about another Kennedy dish? This one to Blondell in the lane. Bees up by 10. But the Tigers weren't going away. With just a minute and a half to go, this long jumper by Davis Warner makes it a 5-point game. Likewise, Davis hits 8 free throws in the final 2 minutes, and the Bees advance to the semifinals with a big 86-79 win. There were 5 Bees in double figures, led by Justin Blondell with 16 points on 3-for-4 3-point shooting. Mike Kennedy added 15 points to go along with 10 rebounds and 4 assists. Friday before, Chris Donnelly has been named to the Capital One Academic All-America First Team. The senior from Peoria says the achievement is the result of balance between the court and the classroom.
It was a goal in the sense that I came in as a student athlete, and student was always emphasized from my family and from Coach Ray as being the first priority. So that would be, I guess, kind of the goal that I came in with and something I achieved.
Donnelly has a 3.7 grade point average in the classroom and averages 2.1 blocks per game on the basketball court, making him the country's 4th leading shot blocker. While the men's basketball is assured a spot in the NAIA and National Tournament, the women need to win the conference tournament for any hope to get to the Nationals. They took the first step in doing that with a convincing road win at Iowa Wesleyan. The Queen Bees never trailed in the game, and they were led by senior Annie Smith with 23 points, 14 rebounds, and 2 more block shots. Smith, a star player in high school at Davenport Assumption, recently set a new career block shot record at SAU, and she has the opportunity to keep adding to her total as long as the Queen Bees keep winning.
Breaking the shot block record here at Ambrose was really awesome. It was definitely something I was kind of keeping in the back of my mind as season started. I definitely knew I could do it if I just had a good year, and I think what means the most to me is that I did something in 3 years what most people took to do 4, so it's kind of a great accomplishment, and it's a good way to end my senior season.
The St. Ambrose bowling teams traveled to Indianapolis on February 17th to compete in the Hoosier Classic. The men placed 6th in a field of 77 teams. Brian Thompson knocked down over 1,900 pins in 9 games. That was good enough for 6th place among 537 bowlers in the men's competition. The SAU women grabbed 13th place out of 50 teams. 3 individual SAU women's bowlers finished in the top 35. Maggie Siszkowski knocked down over 1,600 pins and finished 22nd. Her teammates, Aretha Williams and Taylor Garvey, were close behind at 30th and 35th. Both bowling teams are headed to Fairview Heights, Illinois for sectionals on March 10th. The Fighting Bee baseball season is underway, opening the season with 4 games in Minneapolis versus Morningside College. On the first day, Morningside hitters scored all 11 of their runs in the first 3 innings, handing the Bees an opening season loss. St. Ambrose recovered in the nightcap, pulling out the win with 3 runs in the top of the 7th inning. The next day, the Bees lost both games of the twin bill by identical 4-3 scores. With a 1-3 start, St. Ambrose Fighting Bee center fielder Tom Pryor is very optimistic and feels that the season will be a success.
Our goal is always to win a conference championship, and every day at practice we strive toward making that goal come to fruition. And I think the core of this team this year is young and old, so we have a nice chemistry, and I think we should be good this year because we have a lot of talent, we have a lot of dedication, and the coaching staff really knows how to get it done, and they coach us so we can play our best baseball.
The Bees will look to bounce back on the 28th in St. Louis, Missouri, where we'll take on Missouri Baptist for 2 games. For the second straight week, some SAU athletes have received conference honors. Mike Kennedy has been named Midwest Collegiate Conference Player of the Week for men's basketball, while women's indoor track athlete Ebony Butler also received the honor. That's all for sports. Timmy Nicholas, Dateline SAU.
Thanks, Tim. And that will do it for this week's edition of Dateline SAU.
Be sure to join us every Friday and Monday evening at 6:30 for news and sports from St. Ambrose University.
Each year, the birthday of children's author Dr. Seuss is celebrated with a Read Across America Day on March 2nd.
We decided to ask SAU students about their favorite childhood book.
We will leave you with their responses. Thanks for watching.
Good night.
My favorite childhood book was probably If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, and my mom just read it to me every night, so it was like one of my favorites.
I'd have to say Green Eggs and Ham because it's different, out of the ordinary, and just a really good, well-written book.
My favorite book from my childhood would be The Little Match Girl because my sister and I used to always read it together.
Favorite book is Your Mama a Llama because it's just a good memory that I have of my mom reading it to me all the time as a child, so that's my favorite book.
My favorite book was The Diggiest Dog,
and it's my favorite book because I really love dogs, and my aunt would always bring it over, and she would bring a bunch of candy, and my brothers and sisters and I would all sit around and read the book, and it was just a good time.
My favorite childhood book, I guess, would be Green Eggs and Ham, because I remember 3rd grade we would have a Green Eggs and Ham day with our grandparents, and they would come in and we'd read it and stuff. So it was pretty fun.